Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, lizard people and our robot overlords, we are here with another game of Dota. Game number 2 between myInsanity and Goomba Gaming in a pretty awesome game of one we just saw, where myInsanity managed to eventually, slowly but surely, grind down the Germans, grind down Goomba Gaming. The Serbians, they came back, and they showed a pretty good showing of themselves, taking a very convincing early game lead before eventually winning it all. But this is game number 2. Goomba, they have the chance to be able to pull things back. They have the chance to be able to tie things up, give themselves a game on the board. As you see, the first bans and picks all coming out, and they're all pretty standard affair. Goomba Gaming picking up that Batrider. That Batrider did actually do some really nice stuff for them last game. Sadly, they weren't able to go up against the push, and this time, though, they did ban out the Lycan. Banning out the Lycan, especially considering that myInsanity are now on the Radiant side. And we're going to see the Venge picked up once again, very quickly to counter that Batrider. Very interesting that was first pick, though. First pick material. I won't quite consider Vengeful Spirit to be in that position, but then I guess that Batrider being picked up so much does increase her stock, does increase her ability to affect team fights, as we saw just how good she was. As we are going to see, this is mostly the same heroes that were picked and banned last game, with that Tidehunter this time being picked up by Goomba to make sure that Tusk, they just can't make sure that combo happens again. That Tusk plus Tidehunter combo was devastating in the early game. That new snowball has really made him a viable hero. But either way, we are going to be seeing Scent banned out, as Scent is probably another one of those heroes that work pretty well with Tusk. And in fact, I say a Tusk pickup means there's a lot of heroes you have to worry about. All those heroes with those very fast, strong ultimates that generally don't come online until you've got a Blink Dagger in hand. All of a sudden, those heroes are now all really super strong, really super powerful, and very, very scary. But scary or not, there are a lot of them still left on the board. You could even go theoretically as something like a Treant if you wanted to stop some kind of push from Goomba. A Sand King, even a Darkseer. As in, there's a lot of very good heroes that all go very well with a Tusk left on the table. On the other hand, on Goomba Gaming side, they've already picked up, well, I'd say they've already picked up their off-laner, but either of these two heroes could either go in the off-lane or not in the off-lane. Batrider and Tide are both very good off-lane heroes, but at the same time, there's other positions which they're pretty comfortable in. Batrider had a very good time on middle in the last game against that Shadow Fiend, while Tidehunter is often played in a tri-lane, using that Gush as it's slow to set up other harder hit stuns. Either way, though, we are going to be going with those Scent and Io. Now, Io ban is a little bit interesting, although we are seeing Io Wisp slowly creeping back into the competitive scene. As in I guess you called it she, as in she was very, very largely picked up early in the Dota 2 competitive scene before she got a pretty substantial nerf to her tether, which made it so that it no longer stuns, it just gives a very strong slow. We are going to see the Rubik getting picked up, and that's a huge pickup for myInsanity, as all of a sudden, those ultimates by Batrider and Tidehunter, and other ultimates they may want to have picked up to tie in with that, they're all now a liability as much as a positive on the Goomba Gaming side. Obviously, Goomba Gaming, they definitely want to win this. They're currently 1-1 in the league. They played against Hehe United, and they ended up tying that game up. While myInsanity, they're currently winless. Obviously, they had a very, very difficult first week. They had to go up against Virtus Pro, who did 2-0 them, in what I presume were pretty good games, as in myInsanity, they might not be quite beating Virtus Pro yet, but they're a very good team, and either way, we are going waiting for this third pickup on the Goomba Gaming side. As they are slowly taking their time. I do feel that Rubik pick, it has given them a bit to think about. They're a little bit worried right now as to They had a strategy they were going to go for, and all of a sudden, that strategy doesn't work. As it looks like they're just going to be going for the strategy anyway. They're saying that if we have so many ultimates that Rubik can't steal them all. But I will say that Ravage is probably the big one they're going to have to try and hide. Ravage being so amazingly good in teamfights, especially on a hero like Rubik who's got so much mana and so much ability to move around with the usual items he picks up with the Force Staff. As now, the last two picks are going to be coming out in the second picking stage. And at this point, myInsanity, they've kind of got their tri-lane. It's a very aggressive tri-lane. 2 stuns, lots of damage. That Ice Shard being comboed in with any kind of a stun is effectively a dead hero unless they have some very nice counter initiation themselves. Which, to be fair, a Sand King can do some pretty nice counter initiation. But now who are they going to be having on their mid and off lane? There's still a lot of suggestions left on the table. Interestingly enough, there is the Ember Spirit left. Now, Ember Spirit isn't quite working with what they're currently going with, and he did recently get a nerf, making him no longer the most powerful hero in the game by far. But he is still a very good hero. Yes, his Searing Chains got nerfed. Yes, his Sleight of Fist got nerfed. But he's still, at his core, a very aggressive, survivable carry. As we do see a Gyrocopter coming out. Now, that's interesting. If they can get that Rocket Barrage off, a Gyrocopter can be a very aggressive carry if you need him to be. Or alternatively, they might just send him... Nah, they probably will just send him into a safe lane, tri-lane, with that Venge and Rubik to help him make sure he gets all that farming he needs to be able to get into that mid-game and just start tearing into these very, well, I wouldn't say low HP, but low carry potential heroes that Goomba Gaming currently have. With probably a Tusk going off lane at the moment. He says probably. Because let's face it, these are heroes that can be played in a lot of varying positions. Heck, we could even see an aggressive tri-lane with that Venge, Rubik, and Gyrocopter coming in together, trying to use that Rocket Barrage, also getting a lot of damage. It all, though, depends on what kind of tri-lane Goomba Gaming pick themselves. Because a purely aggressive tri-lane without that Gyrocopter requiring to get that Rocket Barrage off perfectly can beat an aggressive tri-lane from myInsanity in that kind of situation. On the other hand, if Goomba Gaming try to go for more of a defensive, more of a weaker tri-lane, that could be a situation they get caught up in. Still, though, they are using up a lot of time. In fact, myInsanity used up a whole bunch of time, all the way down to only 2 small... Morphling as their carry. And wow, that takes us back all the way to early Dota 2. Back before they realised that maybe agility gain and strength gain were just slightly too good. As he did take that nerf and hasn't really been seen yet, but we do have been seeing recently a few teams experimenting with him. In fact, I know of quite a few teams that have been experimenting slowly with Morphling. And on a good hero, on a good player, with that burst damage ability, especially with something like a Batrider to drag another hero back, it can be very good. Still, we are going to be seeing the Shadow Shaman being banned out. It looks like right now they're assuming that Tidehunter will be going in the off lane, which does make a little bit of sense, as a Tidehunter Sand King Morphling off lane is a little bit too small range for my liking. As the Storm Spirit's also going to get banned out. That hero's been banned out 2 times now with very little mention of why. Maybe myInsanity have a pretty good Storm player on their side. Or Goomba just don't want to have to go up against that kind of hero. And I would say that actually the Storm Spirit is probably one of the few heroes that do very well against a Batrider mid. Or does very well, as I shall speak proper English now. I'm from Britannia. Either way, we do see the Doom is going to get picked up, and that is definitely going to be an aggressive tri-lane coming out from myInsanity. Doom going in that safe lane, the Vengeful Spirit, Rubik, and Gyrocopter going aggressive tri-lane, with Tusk middle? With Tusk middle, I guess. Well, actually, there are a few ways you could play it. As in, you could I'm not actually sure how you'd play that. That is a very interesting pick, as I already thought that their safe lane position was already taken up, but I guess it wasn't. Send Tusk in the off lane and Gyro mid. I don't think I've ever seen a Gyrocopter mid, but it's going to be interesting to see how myInsanity do play that as. Let's face it, myInsanity, they are known as an entire organization. They pick up crazy teams. They pick up teams that they do weird stuff. They cheese in StarCraft 2. They jump out at you in weird places in a Call of Duty and a Counter-Strike. And in Dota 2, they pick a Gyrocopter Doom, Rubik, Tusk, and Vengeful Spirit combo. In the meantime, we do see a Dazzle going out on the opposite side as that last carry. As it looks like they're assuming they're going to be going tri-lane versus tri-lane. And Dazzle is an amazing pickup in that kind of situation. As here we are into our last game. myInsanity versus Goomba Gaming here in the joinDOTA League Season 1. Season 2, Division 1. Numbers. We are going to be going live right now with a pause. And then this is the pause before the other pause. And then the last pause before that pause. And then the game will start. Okay, it looks like they need a small break right now, so hopefully it won't take them too long. So let's have a little talk about these two lineups. So on the one side, we see a kind of a mixed team of both teamfight and individual burst damage. Morphling, he can do a whole bunch of damage in when he gets all his abilities up with that waveform, plus the adaptive strike. If he can get that, whatever it's called. If he can get the blade that he needs, that's a whole bunch of damage once he gets that farm. On the other hand, we had the Bat Rider jumping in for also more single target initiation, presumably drawing him closer towards that Morphling. With his Sand King and Tidal to make sure that team fights don't quite go the myInsanity's way. On the other hand of myInsanity, they're a little bit more of a standard lineup, so to say. Lots of AoE damage, lots of stuns, lots of ability to stop those huge ultimates going off on Goomba's side. Especially with that Doom and the Rubik. As on here, it's going to be interesting what they're going to go for. As I have people in chat now. Or a person in chat. You know who you are. But either way, hopefully this pause won't take too long, as, let's face it, we want another epic game. We want to see the conclusion in this best of 2 between Goomba and myInsanity. We want to see, can myInsanity bring us to a 2-0 victory, or will Goomba bring us back to their second tie of the season in 2 games? As once again, my announcer's not right. That's better. As things are still pausing, with Ping Battles being the only company in this silent Dota 2 land. Nothing more than the fountain whimsically drifting off, the river flowing. A peaceful prelude to what will hopefully be an action-packed Dota 2 game. He says hopefully. As in, do we have any nice items on these heroes? Sadly, not quite. Benja's actually got a pretty nice sweet hat. Like, gives him a hood and makes him look a little bit like E.T. But apart from that, nothing real, not much bling on the myInsanity side. What about Goomba? Well, we do see a quite nice set coming out on Sand King, who's very, very annoyingly being blocked by that Batrider. Yeah, that's a quite nice set from Sanking. As yes, this is what it comes down to when we're in a pause this long. I'm resorting to talking about fashion tips in Dota. And this is the only place where you can get fashion tips like this. As obviously right now, for those who are both in-game and on Twitch TV, I do thank you all for watching right now. This is Banshee casting on the Heflatv 2. Definitely go check out the Hefla, the other casters and other streams on Heflatv. Plenty of awesome, slightly lesser known casters coming together and bringing something awesome to the Dota 2 community. Both in English and German. As is, we do sadly have a BuckTup saying he's got 650 ping, which is a little bit sad. And a shout out to Calypso! Obviously whether that's Calypso from the TV series or just a Calypso he knows. Who cares? Because anyone who's a friend of these pro players is probably pretty awesome. Fictional TV characters or not. As we do hear the call to go. Hope we'll be going soon. Sadly, even the calls to go are all working on Valve time. Everyone loves Valve time. Apart from everyone else. And Nia showing off his calligraphy skills and his ability to ping. Making a little smiley face with a ping sign and his drawings. The artistic strikes cruising through the canvas like... cruising through the canvas and making a lovely smiley face to brighten up the days using some nice teamwork and showing the humanity and tenacity of the human spirit. And yes, you really know I've run out of stuff to talk about when I'm making fun of people who do modern art. As we should have been going live. I'm not quite sure what's going wrong right now. Hopefully nothing too serious. We did know that Rubik, he did have some ping issues. And ping issues are never good, especially on a hero like Rubik, as in, you need to be pretty fast on the ball to be able to get those spells off in the right moment. Especially against a competent Tide who will, you know, this isn't in your usual pub, where they'll spam the ultimate then run around for 5 minutes. Instead, usually most Tides will slam down that Ravage, and immediately get the Anchor Smash off afterwards to try and hide their spell. As we are going to be seeing a restarting of Ruta. Hopefully not going to take too long. Nino suggesting that just going would help. Sadly, we are still here in a pause. Obviously, it's probably worth now talking a little bit about some of the awesome other games that are going to be coming up in the joinDOTA 2 League. Because obviously there are plenty other. I said that word plenty of times. I will try and actually speak proper sentences this time. No, there are plenty of other awesome games going on in the Dota 2 League over the week as competitive teams are striking out against each other. We've got Virtus Pro in this Division 1 League. Virtus Pro, myInsanity, Hehe United. Hehe United, you even got Power Makers, Meet Your Makers. In fact, Meet Your Makers, a brilliant Dota 1 team. Sadly, not quite being able to get the same amount of grip as they have in Dota 1 and Dota 2, because, let's face it, Dota 2 has had a lot more competition than Dota 1. Going from that leap from a simple Warcraft 3 mod to a fully functional Valve-sponsored game has really upped the ante. We're seeing $1 million prize pools now, and the teams are showing it. Either way, $1 million prize pools or not, We're here in the million second pauses. Hopefully not too many delays, but let's face it, this is a Valve game. In fact, this is a competitive game of any nature. There are going to be delays. Birds tweet, dogs bark, and competitive esport games never stay on time. Hopefully it won't take us too long to get into the action. As the important thing though, even after all of this, is to make sure that the players, they do have the best ability to play their best game of Dota, because, well, nobody likes to win because, you know, your opponents had technical issues. As we do see, Doom is going to reconnect to the game. GOG won Dota. Hopefully, that reconnect is a sign of a game to come. And one glass of the weather later. A little bit of a storm in a teacup. And we are going to be going. Yes, I could do a little bit of drink after casting for the last 40 minutes, but there is no rest for the wicked. There is no breaks when providing awesome stuff to this awesome community. And I will say this seriously, that the Dota 2 community, as esports goes, is probably the best one I've seen. As yes, we can go, we are ready! This is going to be Goomba versus myInsanity. Right now? Nope, not quite now. Right now! There we go! And this is going to be Goomba versus myInsanity. So, we have on the Radiant side, on the myInsanity side, we have on the Tusk, Grazine, they are smoking up for this 5-man gank. So I'm going to have to do this quickly. We have joinDOTA playing on Doom. Rubik being played by Booked Up Dota 2. Cole, what used to be on the Shadow Feed, now on the Gyrocopter in this game, with Cydia on the Vengeful Spirit. In the meantime, on the opposite side, hopefully not going to get ganked out this early, we have Nino playing in that Sand King. Going to be a little bit careful. We've got Nia, who's going to have to be a little bit near with that Channel Grave to help his teammate. Arya on the Morphling. Are they going? No, they're not. As it looks like they are going to be continuing with this 5-man gank. I'm going to have to stop the introductions just for a little bit, as this could be interesting, as though it looks like the two teams, they are going to pass by each other without seeing each other, like ships sailing in the night. As they are going to be able to get the wall off, and Nino may be in a bit of trouble. The snowball's going to come out. Is it going to stun? Yes, it will. This is in huge amounts of trouble for the Sand King. Can he get out of there? The Shallow Grave is going to save him a little bit with that Burrow Strike, but it's just going to need a bit more damage. The Sow gets popped off. Can they save him? It looks like they will. They even stop that homing missile from taking him out. And that is going to be a failed gank attempt. Very nice reactions there coming out from the Sand King and Dazzle, stopping that from happening. But now we go back to our regularly broadcasted programming. As now, Grazine on that Tusk, he's going to actually only have a snowball to be able to try and get away in this off lane. That could be a little bit dangerous for him. With Rubik and Venge probably going to be rotating. I'm not sure where they're going to be rotating. It looks like they're maybe trying to get a kill on this Batrider pretty quickly with a... Are they doing a tri-lane mid? No, they're not. In fact, they may be doing a tri-lane mid, as we do see the homing missile is going to come out into exist. And can they get any more kills on that? Can they get the lift off? As Exist is playing very aggressive, but he knows he can with that sticky napalm. In fact, got 5 charges already onto that Gyrocopter. As we see, Vengeful Spirit finally making her way up to the top, as it is going to be an ordinary tri-lane with Doom here going up against this Tide. But Tide's already had a pretty good time so far, getting some free experience, already level 2, getting some free last hits. The second highest last hitter in the game. It's not going to stay like that once the support from the supports come in. As the Rubik is also being annoying himself. It looks like he may want to go for the grab. Or in fact, it looks like he may want to go for the ward. For the courier, I mean. It's kind of waiting here for that bottle timing. This could be pretty huge if he picks up Batrider's bottle. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. In the meantime, Tusk, he's sat here. He's getting some nice experience levels. For all the damage that Dazzle and Morphling can do, it isn't quite in the danger zone yet, especially since Sanking is just sitting here and just trying to get these jungle stacks going. Well, we have Rubik. He's still waiting. He's waiting for that courier, and it's going to be coming. A very pretty green courier, in fact, but it might be a pretty dead one. And this is going to be huge if he can take out his bottle for I think it's about 5 entire minutes. Can't remember off the top of my head as Rubik is going again. Can he get it? One last right click. Yes, he will. Lovely stuff. As Batrider, he is going to take in more harassment, and he really needed that bottle. Needed it so badly. He can taste the pain. And now, Exist is in so much pain right now. It's going to be down for another 2 minutes as we do see the double damage rune. It's going to get picked up by Rubik. Huge play by him. He's only level 1 still, but it doesn't really matter. You've just given your Gyrocopter a huge advantage on middle. Absolutely perfect stuff. As Gyrocopter is. Well, he's farming pretty well, but we do see on this bottom lane, Tusk is going to go down, or Hydundra is actually going to go down. Tusk was just out there completely as the lift coming in from him. And I miss first blood, take a drink. Or don't, because as we do see another pause coming out. As it looks like that Rubik is still having lag issues, although he's having a pretty good time so far. He's already got a courier kill and helped get a kill onto a Tide. You can't really ask for much better than a support at this stage in the game. Hopefully they're not difficult problems he needs to solve. Like differentiating. As we go into another pause. As the disconnects are coming out. Although not from the players, but instead from, I think they're the other English casters, not quite sure. Either way, it is worth noting that the 2 players on Goomba, 2 of the cores, are the 2 highest farmers right now, with Morphling having 13 last hits, and Bat doing a pretty good job here in middle, even without that bottle. As we do say that they are ready, they are going to be going, we are back to it! But this surely isn't going to continue for much longer. As it looks like maybe going for the kill right now. The snowball's going to come in, but the counter initiation, is it going to be enough? Yes! No, it isn't! Dazzle just trying to do anything else he can to get anything out of that situation, but Bat goes down, and that is going to be 2-0 in favour of myInsanity. myInsanity doing a brilliant job in this early game. While Tide, he's going to have to be a bit careful again, as there are still a lot of possibilities to take him out. Although, all this rotation is coming out from Tusk, as, in fact, we do see Tusk, as I was just talking about that, he may go down right now, only a little bit more damage, but couldn't get the last right click. So close to a kill right there, but Tusk manages to walk it home. But I was about to say that all this rotation coming out from Tusk means that Morphling is pretty much getting free farm here on bottom. They aren't getting kills, but they are getting farm. As Tide is being a bit annoying here. Going to be able to steal some of this farm away, stop that pulling from happening. As, in fact, some really nice timing there with those creeps. Continuing this pulling from keep going forward, and Tidehunter is going to have to be a little bit careful. As Rubik, all it's going to take is something to want to come and take him out. As there is actually a haste here. Exist is going to be able to pick that up. Hasn't got his bottle for it though. This bottle is still on that courier, which he can now go for. As Gyrocopter is going to pop off his rocket barrage to try and dissuade this Batrider from doing anything. As he might just be able to take him out, just right-clicking him down underneath the tower. That will do so. He may go down to the tower. Yes, he will. A 1-for-1 kill. Batrider just diving in a little bit too hard. But he will be able to get his bottle now. But the Hand of Midas already only 4 minutes in. Well, a little bit more. Probably going to be about around that 6-minute-ish mark. But 6-minute Midas coming in for the Morphling. Lovely stuff for him. Tusk doing pretty well himself, actually. All those kills and ganks he's been securing for his team means he's been able to pick up some Tranquil Boots already. Doing a good job of farming, even though he's been in the hardest, I'd say the hardest lane so far. We do have this Tidehunter though, who's playing a bit too aggressive. He doesn't really have much vision. The stun, not quite going to come out. He's going to be able to get away. And even be able to pick up his Arcane Boots. Also doing a very good job farming right now. In fact, the 3rd highest last hitter in the game. Very good for an off-lane hero. You see Batrider, he's being harassed at the back even more. As he is starting to slowly lose that advantage against... oh, you see Gyro, he's going in for the kill. A little bit more damage. They might be able to take him out. Yes, they will. Dazzle, once again, a bit too slow. And they might be going for him again. But he's going to dodge the ice shards. And that is going to be 1-4. myInsanity in a very good situation right now. Winning all their lanes. Sanking is going to keep trying to farm up this jungle. Trying to farm up that lovely Blink Dagger. Even getting the pull off. He's going to stand up. Get himself a double stack. Keep up that gold. Keep up that lovely, lovely money. Everyone loves money. Apart from, I don't know, people who are allergic to money. But ignoring those, it is currently 1-4 in the game right now. With Tidehunter now probably going to be going either towards that mech that some Tidehunters like to pick up, or that very fast Blink Dagger. It's worth noting that in this situation with a Rubik on the opposite team, a Blink Dagger is a very good situation, as it allows you to always make sure you get the Rubik. If you can always get the Rubik, you can protect your ultimate. If you don't, it's bad biz. It's a sad time panda. Well, we are actually seeing a nice bait attempt coming out from Tusk. We know they've already known that myInsanity, they know that this, they like going on this Tusk. They've tried to gank him several times so far, not being able to take him out. So these two supports, they were just waiting there, hoping to see if any of the Goomba Gaming would show their face. Sadly, they didn't. But it is going to be 1-4. And the smoke gang coming up through middle. Batrider has actually been having a pretty bad time so far. Losing his bottle earlier hurt him, as he is going to get homing missile back, and just look what that homing missile does. He can't farm even though it's this close to the tower. The ultimate is up for a gyrocopter, as it looks like they may want to go for it. We see the Sand King jumping in, but the counter initiation is there. They weren't expecting that. The cooldown is going to be doing huge amounts of damage. Can Dazzle get out there alive? He's going to be able to. The Ravage only picks off one, but the ultimate from Rubik, the steal, the spell steal isn't up yet, but we see Gyro, he's still living somehow. Isn't going to be enough, as surely it's going to be a 2-0. Yes, it will be. Goomba doing a very nice job right there. And that is 2-0. MYI getting a little bit caught out. Sand King doing a very good job of starting that. As Tusk is going to be going on to his Batrider. Trying to man up, try and take him out. The Walrus Punch comes out. Not going to be enough, though, to save him, as Tide is thinking about continuing doing the harassment. But during all this, Morphling is free farming. Where's Morphling? He's currently 55-15. He's got a Midas this early on. Already got his ring and boots. He's going to get annoyed by that gyrocopter, but at the same time, they need to keep this Morphling in mind. This Morphling and the Tide, both doing very good jobs, though the Tide is going to go down. That Doom's Doom. And Tusk's, not Tusk, but Ice Shards and Snowball, really helping pick up those kills. As that's going to be 3-6. And let's have a quick look at how the game is going so far. We do see experience slightly in favor of Goomba, surprisingly, by about 800 experience, which is okay, I guess, this early into the game. On the other hand, on the gold is actually also in favor of Goomba, due to that hand of Midas on the Morphling. Morphling is just speeding ahead with the farm. Though he's not the highest farmer in the game, surprisingly. That Devour and Midas coming together, that's slightly more powerful than just a Midas. He's already got level 4 Devourer. A level 5 Devour would be pretty overpowered, considering it doesn't exist. But either way, we are seeing Batty. Looks like he wants to initiate. He doesn't have his Blink Dagger yet, though, and he's nowhere near it. He's got his boots, but Batrider's farm has been nowhere near what it really needs to be. Especially for a mid-hero. This mid has just gone terribly for him. He picked up 4 deaths, managed to get 2 kills, but he's been giving Gyro a lot of farm and a lot of space. As we do also have around about 50 viewers watching this right now, which is actually pretty cool stuff. As for those of you who are actually just joining us, this is Banshee Casting on Heflatv. And this is a Goomba versus MYI with game number 1 going towards myInsanity with a very nice pushing lineup. They really grind down their opponents. This game, though, myInsanity, they've got a small kill lead, but they are behind just barely in terms of golden experience. In fact, gold is effectively equal. Every penny counts, or every gold counts. I don't know. As this Sand King, he's going towards his blink. In fact, all he needs is just one or two very good sandstorms, and he should be able to pick that up. He just needs a few more bits of last hit and creep, and that's going to be his blink dagger. Only 12 minutes in. He doesn't really have very much else, but at the same time, that's all a Sand King really needs. Yes, BKB is nice to pick up, although with a Vengeful Spirit a BKB isn't quite as important as it might normally be, as they're always going to have that ability to break out of your perfect ultimate, so to say. Also following Batrider right now, as he's pushing up through the middle, but he may be in a bit of trouble right now as Tusk, he's waiting, he wants to initiate, although that Firefly plus haste is going to mean that he's going to have more than enough ability to get out, even if they initiate onto him. While Doom continues to farm. And his lead is slowly increasing with that Devour plus Hand of Midas coming in together. It really is giving him the advantage. As, let's face it, the Devourer is basically a second Midas, so to say. It's a free Midas. It even gives you abilities. Midas on steroids. Did you see the... a small initiation there coming out onto middle. Gyrocopter going on to Morphling. Morphling maybe in a bunch of trouble. The stun coming out from the snowball. Morphling still survives somehow with that strength gain. Not going to be enough though. As in fact they're looking for a second one. Sand King very far in trouble. But the Ravage coming out from Tide is perfect. He picks up one kill. He's looking for more. Tusk is desperate trying to get out of there. His snowball's up in a few moments. He should be able to get out nice and safely. But the Batrider says no. He is denied. And Rubik stayed around a little bit too long, and this may be another death. A very nice Burrow Strike coming out from him that he managed to steal from the Sand King, but it's not going to be enough, and that is a 3 for 2. Lovely stuff there coming out from Goomba. Yes, they lost their Morphling, but they picked up 3 kills in return, including that Gyrocopter. Having said that, Doom is still pushing and farming. Doom is still basically getting free farm. Whatever he wants, he is getting. Like a sport child at Christmas, but hits quite a bit harder. As he is actually going to be able to take down this tower. Oh, can he get the knight? Yes, he can! Lovely stuff there coming out from the Sand King. That was lovely. It's also worth noting that he's not giving away the fact that he has... he's going to be able to get the Polar Strike off. Can he pick up the kill? We do see the Tusk coming over the Polar Punch and the Snowball. They're going to pick up one. Morphling forced to rotate back because of the Doom. And surely this might be a dead Morphling. But Tide Hunter says no. Tide Hunter turns it back around once again. This is a game of just people jumping in and initiating and reinitiating, while Batrider is slowly burning down this very poor support. Nothing Venge could do right there, but just walk around solemnly and fill up as the fire rained down from the skies. And that's a quick look at how the items are going so far. We do see that well, there are a few interesting items. We see Gyro. He's managed to pick up those Drums of Endurance. Already got all 5 charges on those. While Doom, going for that Vladimir's offering, possibly going for a more aura-based Doom. There's a lot of ways you can build Doom. You go for pure damage. You can go for an aura-based build where he just sticks around and gives your team so much of an advantage. You can even go for like a caster Doom, where he's got so many active abilities through his items. Either way, we do see Sand King. He's jumping forwards as he's going to lose himself, get a little bit stuck in the trees. Slightly missing that max range of Blink Dagger, because if you press a little bit too far, they are going to know he's there. He's going to be in so much trouble. The cooldown is also coming off, but he is going to be able to blink off and wait for the ultimate from Gyro. That's a pretty nice play coming out from him. They are going to be stopping that homing missile from even doing any damage to that Sand King. And we just see this. Finally, Batrider's managed to pick up his blink. And the amount of initiation coming out from both these two teams. As Tide also jumping in his blink. Blinks all around. Venge, though, may be able to save his carry, but may lose his life in return. In fact, will he lose his life in return? He's getting pretty far away without anyone doing anything at all. No, he's not. He does get stunned up by the Boros Strike, but that is going to be 9-9. Goomba picks up another kill right there. And I will say that Goomba is probably a little bit ahead right now in terms of golden experience, as they're going to be taking down this tower, cementing their lead a little bit further. Yeah, that lead is starting to increase, but that Doom, you always have to worry about him. He's going for that BKB. He's got that Devour plus minus. He can farm very quickly, but they may lose the tier 2 tower because of it, as we do see Tidal. He's trying to get nuked down before he can get his ultimate off. And the stuns are good enough. The ultimate from the epicenter from the Sand King, doing good work as well. But that is going to be a 1-for-1 trade right there. Rubik picking up that epicenter himself, not being able to do very much, as Gyrocopter may even be able to pick up a second kill right there. They're chasing them all down. Goomba is in full retreat, and that's going to be a 2-for-1 in favor of the Serbians. Batrider gets away nice and easily using his amazing amount of initiation, or his amazing amount of maneuverability. He's got his Blink Dagger and Firefly, and even an Invis, which could be a bit interesting, as this tier 1 tower on bottom is going to get harassed a bit by Goomba. This game's a little bit faster paced than the last one, and it is showing currently with the kills. We're less than 20 minutes in, and there's more than a kill a minute. As this aggression is coming in, we do see the Firefly being invised up, and Rubik is in so much trouble just walking around the fire. He's going to go down. Batrider picks off one. The Burrow Strike takes down another one, and Batrider doesn't even need to use any active abilities. He just pops in the Firefly and is annoying. Gyrocopter may even go down right now. He is getting napalmed up, as Dazzle may be able to survive. He's going to be very close. He has managed to get the Shallow Grave up. One more right click and it will do so. Dazzle takes down Gyrocopter using that poison touch. But there is a nice ward there, as Doom may be in a bit of trouble. But Batrider's going to be initiated onto first. The Walrus Punch doing the damage. And that is going to be 13-14. As it's going to be a 3-for-1 exchange in favor of MYI. Well, it was a little bit more than that, so it was a team fight in between there. It was more of a 3-for-3, with the supports being able to come back very, very quickly due to the low level they are. On the other hand, we are seeing Morphling sat here. He's still farming up. He's still farming pretty well, not quite the same level as Doom, but I will say that a Morphling requires slightly less items to get into that huge nuke you down position. While Doom is a very item-dependent hero, depending on however you want to build him. As we are seeing that Doom is going for that BKB, and he's managed to pick it up just right there. It's there in his stash. He's just going to walk home to get it, as he's pretty low on health and mana. What's his gold per minute right now? About 600. That's actually pretty high from the Doom. But the Batrider, after his pretty terrible start going up against his Gyro middle, having lost his bottle and stuff, he has actually made a small comeback with the amount of kills and initiations he's been giving his team on Goomba. 7, 5, and 4 right now is the highest fragger in this game, so to say. Where the Gyrocopter doing pretty well himself, considering he's more of a... He's less of a ganking hero, more of a farming carry. As we do see initiation here coming out. Batrider's going to pick up another kill, and they're just going to rotate back. They know the TPs have come out, and if they can try and force them... If they can try and force these TPs to be in vain, that's pretty good. As Exist is surely going to be able to get out of there. The snowball's going to run out at the last moment. It was only a one-man snowball. And that is going to be a pretty cute owl. And just a 1-for-0. Rubik getting picked off right there. But it looks like it looks like myInsanity, they aren't happy. They aren't happy just leaving it like that, as they are pressuring forward slightly. This wave pushing itself forwards, but they are going to back off. Leaving it 14-14, with once again that lead practically nil. It is, these two teams are as close as you can get right now. Though the Doom is still in that dangerous position. That dangerous position of being allowed to effectively free farm. 113 of 115 now. You can't even say it without it being wrong. The 115 last hits with that Devour, with that minus, gives you a lot of money. This top tier 1 tower probably will end up going down. Not really any way that NYI can really defend this. They're trying to go for the one-for-one trade. In fact, one-for-one trade in exchange of a Roche. But this Roche is going to have to be giving up right now, as I think Goomba know what's happening. Yes, they do. They do see the ward is there, and they're going to rotate back. They know this is just a little bit too dangerous, especially against a Tide Hunter, especially against that kind of team fight. Very risky stuff. Roshan being taken all the way down to a 4k health. So Batrider does pick off one, taking out that Vengeful Spirit. As the Tide Hunter jumps in, gets a 3-man Ravage, looking for more than that. What did Rubik stole it? Rubik stole the Ravage. He's turning it around. And that is going to be a 2-0. Nobody went down right there. That was a lovely Ravage. Lovely skills coming out. But just wasn't enough. But we see the Batrider's here. And he's waiting. He knows it's there. He wants to steal it. Can he get... No, he can't. He doesn't have the vision, sadly, that he needed. And he's just going to be able to stay there and be nice and safe. And that is going to be 14-16 and a huge advantage coming out from myInsanity. As Doom's going to pick up another kill here, taking down that Morphling, which again is a huge kill. What was Morphling doing this far forward? I'm not quite sure, as they don't really have the vision to be that far forward at the moment. They don't, as in they're sure they can try to detect a looping gank, but apart from that, being in this position is just a bit too greedy. And Doom is going to make him pay, popping that Doom, but taking the Morphling out. As we do see it, Tusk is being initiated on by the Batrider. He is going to get taken down. Looks like that was a bad snowball being taken out by him, and that's going to be another 2-0. As we're seeing some very nice initiation. Batrider hasn't finished yet. He's still got his ultimate up. Can he pick up this Rubik? He's going to get him. He's going to use the Force Staff to be able to do so. Dragging him back towards death. Dragging him back towards destruction. And that's going to be 3 kills for nothing. Doom is still going to be farming up a little bit, but he's going to get forced back just because of this pressure on the middle tower. And they're going to pick up another tower. This is going to be pretty easy for them. And there's no way that myInsanity can really defend this. Not without an amazing, I don't know, call down Doom getting everything perfect. And by the time these other heroes have come up, this tower is getting slowly but surely knocked down, being nothing more than rubble. And we are now at 17-17. But Goomba are slowly well, myInsanity, they are taking lead, but Goomba have taken that tower. We're just seeing this is all over the place. Every single time something happens, the other team responds back, and you really can't ask for any closer than this at the moment. 2k gold, 25 minutes in the game, really isn't that much. Although this Doom, just look at his farm right now. 14k net worth, he's gonna pick up another tower. He's just getting so fat, and they are going to have to be a little bit wary about him, as he's got his BKB. He's got so much anti-magic. The Batrider can still lock him down, but he's also got pretty tanky. He's almost got 2k health. He doesn't have a lot of armor yet, but surely he's going to be picking up something like a Cuirass or any of the numerous armor-giving items that Doom likes to pick up. And he can practically just turn up and buy it single-handedly. Maybe he'll sell off his Hand of Midas to do that. So he's just trying to get as much worth out of that Hand of Midas before going off and buying his 4th item. As did you see, he's going to TP top. There's a Sand King who's a little bit worrying, but the gank is coming in. We see there's an invis up Tide Hunter. He's got the blink. They may be able to take out Doom. This would be pretty huge if he can get the initiation off. Batrider needs to be the one to go first, and they might just walk into him. And somehow he dodges it. Somehow they walk right past each other, and Doom gets out alive. As now, Doom is going to have to still be a little bit wary, but his team's there to support him. As yep, it looks like he is going for that Assault Cuirass. As Hunter is still in Viz, he's still waiting. Did Doom notice that? Doom may have noticed that. Did you see the swap instantly coming out from Vengeful Spirit? Perfect! Stopping that initiation in its tracks. And both these two teams basically avoiding the initiation. The others are throwing out a very nice ultimate coming out from Sand King. Perfect bait. Doom gets nuked for he can even pop his BKB. And Tusk is desperately trying to get out of there, but nothing is working for him. As that is going to be a lovely 2-man kill. Rubik does blink out of there at the last moment, with that blink dagger is just picked up. And a very crucial one, in fact, but this tower surely will be going down. As we see, he once again blinks forward, jumps forward, and this is surely going to be a dead Rubik, but he just steals the burst strike, might be able to get out. Just blink off at the last moment, there were milliseconds in that. Lovely play there coming out from Rubik. That player doing amazing stuff, but this tier 2 tower is going to go down. The TPs are going to be coming back to defend middle and bottom. And everything goes back to normal, with Goomba taking a nice lead right there. Well, I say nice lead, it is 1k in terms of experience, and less than 1k in terms of gold. If you just look at that graph just shows you how awesome this game is right now. This is the highest point that either of these two teams have been in terms of lead, and it's only 3k. We're 25 minutes in the game, and both these two teams are still in it, still fighting, still waiting, and still ready. Meantime, we do see Doomies still farming up. As it looks like he is giving up his ability to hold a TP scroll in hand, while Sand King gets a Veil. Even more fun. For those of you who don't know what that does, that's 25% more damage. More damage from his ultimates, more damage from Tide's ultimates, more fun, more explosions. As you see, it looks like they're initiating on this Rubik. This Rubik's going to be in a lot of trouble right now. His burst strike, well, I mean, the more thing it means in a lot of trouble. That burst strike allowing him to take control of that. That's going to be a very nice kill coming out from myInsanity, and they're going to be pushing forward even further. But they may be trying to go for the defense. The ultimate's getting popped up. They're going in, jumping in, getting the Veil off, but the BKB from Doom makes that basically useless. The Tusk comes in, gets a nice stun onto Batrider, but the counter initiation from that Tide. And these are ultimates coming out all over the place, a little bit scrappy, a little bit messy. Batrider desperate trying to get out of there for that homing missile, takes him out, while Doom will eventually go down to that Dazzle. But Tide may be in a bit of trouble right now. Gyrocopter wants it, Gyrocopter needs it, but the stun from that Dazzle is going to be enough to save him. And in fact, Tide's going to pick up another kill with the help of that Dazzle. And that is going to be a 4-for-1. Fights all over the place. The Gyrocopter will get out of there, but, well, that is going to be 23-18. As not quite being able to farm up using his Sandstorm right there. A little bit annoying. But they are going to keep pushing. They're going to be trying to take down this tier 2 tower while all the players on myInsanity are dead. And this should be an easy tower kill. Unless Jaro and Rubik can cuck something up between them. But surely just going in there would be suicide. As Batrider, in fact, looks like he wants to just initiate the issue. And Gyrocopter's in so much trouble right now. He's being stunned back. The Tidehunter doing even more damage. The call down has been called down. Is it going to be enough? He's doing a lot of damage, but he is going to get forced back right now. As, in fact, Rubik steals the Batrider. Lovely stuff coming out from him, but too much damage, and his Kraken Shell appears and just disrupts all that stunning. And that is going to be 23-18, but another tower going down. Nobody dies. Nice stuff coming out from both those two teams. As in fact, it looks like Sand King was forced out. He is going to be able to pop off his burst strike, but Rubik picks it up in return. Rubik has been really on key, picking up all those crucial items. And that is, well, that was the only kill in that entire team fight. As Batrider, in fact, maybe in a little bit of trouble, but he's going to get away before any possible Doom can come out. As Doom is just sitting there in the fire. He doesn't care. Just look how much damage, look how much health, look how much survivability he has. I'm actually not quite sure what he's going for. Is he going for like a Assault Cuirass plus Heart at the same time? It looks like he started building Assault Cuirass and switched over to Heart halfway through, and he's got the gold to be able to do it. He's 4k ahead of everyone else on the map. And this is 23-19, with Goomba in a very nice situation. But myInsanity, they've always got that risk of striking back. It is worth noting, though, that at this point, every single team, while these two teams are basically in trading team fights, every single team fight from now on that myInsanity lose is going to be very, very painful, as all these tier 3s are now exposed. All these tier 3s and those delicious, tasty racks behind them are now right for the taking if they can just win a few team fights. As it looks like they are looking for that team fight to win with the smoke up. Batrider's coming in, making sure there's no funny business around Roche. There's not going to be any though. As the rest of myInsanity, they're just sitting back. They're just chilling, waiting for the initiation for Vengeful Spirit to do the counter-initiation. That's really the key in this entire puzzle, is for Venge to get that swap off on whoever Batrider targets. Because if you can do that and break that lasso, you're already halfway there to winning a nice team fight. Well, I say halfway, more like a third of the way there as you. You still got the ultimate from Sand King and the ultimate from Tidehunter. As if I was any good at controlling the camera, I'd have moved over to him at that point. Yes, chill on that Tidehunter. As Batrider's going to bottle up an Invis rune. That could be big, as he has already picked up a Lincoln Sphere. That's actually a huge pickup. Very smart play coming out of the Batrider. I can't say how good that pickup is. I can't, stop saying how good that pickup is, because it stops Venge from instantly taking him out. As in, he has to take the opportunity for someone else to pop it, or use his magic missile to swap him out first. Instead, all of a sudden, countering this Batrider is no longer as simple as it might seem. And if you can pick up a BKB as well, he's pretty hard to stop at that point. Having said that, both these two teams are just sitting back, using the items and gank ability they have to basically Mexican standoff each other. They each know where the opposing team is, but they don't really want to be the first to initiate. Not the amount of counter-initiation both these two teams have. It's a little bit like if you've ever seen fights in a schoolyard where nobody really wants to be the first one to throw the first punch. Because whoever does that is probably going to get hurt a bit. As we see Morphling, he's managed to pick up his Ghost Scepter, going towards that Ethereal Blade. Nice stuff from him. And once he gets that, he is going to have a huge amount of explosivity. Or words. He will do lots of damage. Me speak English good. As you do see, he's also picked up a Lincoln's, now getting that Ethereal Blade. And now they're probably ready to start initiating, ready to start pushing forward. And we just see, because of the initiation we have on the MYI side, just look how far back this team is being forced. They have wards in good positions. They know exactly where their opponents are, but they just don't feel confident enough contesting those areas of the map. They're just trying to sneak up any amount of farm, and we're seeing, because of that, Doom's lead is dropping. Doom's lead that he's had for the entire game is no longer solid. As in, Morphling is only about 2k away from joining him. And Morphling is having a lot more free farm, as it looks like they are going for this Roche. We see Tidy's the first one to do a little bit amount of damage. And Morphling is going to be coming again. And he is the real right click. He is the real bones in this situation. And if they can take out this Roche, it would be huge. Do Goomba, do MYI know about this? Do myInsanity know about this? I don't know. Surely they do. We see the Batrider, he picks off Doom. He's dragging him back, but a nice swap there coming out from Vengeful Spirit. But the ultimates from Sand King, perfect as well. They're going to pick up one. Already taken one down. The call down from the gyrocopter is very good. But Tide, he's still alive. He's still doing a lot of damage right here. Just being annoying, being in their face. They might take it down Doom right here. Yes, they do. That's absolutely huge. Gyrocopter may be the next to fall, but his BKB will save him. The Sand King only stuns out the Rubik right there. He'll go down, even with the use of that Broad Strike, and they might just start to go for tier 3. The Ice Shards doing a good enough job of keeping them back, but this is going to be a dead tier 3 and possibly even racks. Doom's down for another 50 seconds. Rubik's down for another 30. Can they defend these racks? The fortification has been popped, giving them a little bit more time, a little bit more effort to hold on, but Goomba, they are going forwards. They don't want to go 2-0 down. They want to tie this up again. As these racks are taking a whole bunch of damage. And this, no Necronomicons needed there, no Wolves, no Howl, just simple right click and lots of team fight coming out from them. It looks like they want to even go even further. They want more advantage. This Roshan is around about halfway done, so why not pick it up as well? And they're just going to be jumping in, doing huge amounts of damage to that Roche. It's getting melted down. Can MYI stop this? I don't think they can. They're nowhere near in the right position. Only 1k left. And that is going to be a dead Roshan. And Morphling has a second life. Morphling has even more carry potential. And well, Morphling is now looking pretty strong, as for the first time in the game, Doom is not the highest farmer. For the first time in the game, Doom is no longer the main carry. Doom is no longer the numero uno in the farming race. But instead, Morphling has taken it over. Obviously, dropping out that Midas for a Assault Crass, although the correct decision to do, will do that a little bit. But at the same time, we're just seeing that this Doom is starting to slowly lose the huge lead that he had at one point. This tier 2 tower is being harassed a little bit. They're trying to just use pure brute force to take down these towers. Is it going to be enough? They're all just right-clicking it. The initiation comes out from Sand King. I don't think it was very good though. In fact, Sand King don't have to be very, very careful. But Batrider's going to be getting a little bit good and a little bit better initiation. And this Gyrocopter's just going to die. No other way to say it. As Sand King now initiates for the second time. The even better initiation coming out from Tidehunter. The Wombo combo gets pulled off. That's going to be 2, probably 3 kills coming out. They can't pick up the force as Doom's already TP'd out of there. But that was lovely coming out from Goomba. And they are now right now on a rampage. And someone's a little bit shocked at just how well Goomba's playing right now. Well, don't be. I'd say that in Germany, looking at the German teams right now, Goomba are one of the aspiring hopes. They're one of those few teams that, aside from the big ones like Mouse Sports, they're one of the few German teams who are really interesting to see. And I really want to see more of this team. On the other hand, MYI are also very interesting. Both these two teams surely going to be doing great things in the competitive scene. As we've seen Batrider, they are going to pick up that Doom. This Doom going down is going to be huge. He gets nuked down before he can even pop his BKB, but the swap by Vengeance, will it be enough? Doom is so low, so many dots are on him, but the mech keeps him alive. Venge gives up his life, but it may be enough as Bat jumped in too far. But Sand King may be able to even be able to help him right there. But this was just a little bit too much of an overextension. They didn't even get the racks. And right now, Goomba are just trying to fix that. The cooldown gets called down. But everyone gets out there alive. As there is still 1 Rax left. That range melee Rax as the snowball is going to take down that Tide. That Tide surely soon to fall. But then the Sand King comes in with the ultimate. Absolutely huge. Peeks off 1 player already. We do see Tusky managed to get graved up. Thanks to Rubik stealing that. But I don't think it's going to be enough. As he's going to get stunned up as well. And that's going to be GG. Lovely stun there coming out from Sand King. Absolutely fantastic stuff there at the end. As that is going to be 35 to 20. And that was 1-1. Both these two teams tied it up. I have been Baneshee. This has been an awesome series. And I thank you all for watching. Whether on in-game, supporting the joinDOTA League, or on the Heflatv Twitch TV channel. I do thank all of you. And hope you all know some pretty awesome Dota games like that in the future.